Hello everybody, this is Lord Tamberlane with another Obscurity in Miniature, and today we do have a bit of an obscurity. We have a warning, caution, nope, choking hazard, I can't even read, small parts. What are these small parts? Well, they're resin parts. What resin parts, you may be wondering? Well, I know, and maybe I'll share that information with you. What I have in front of me are the two parts to make a veteran gunslinger from Flying Frog's Shadows of Brimstone. Now, this was an exclusive figure from their Dicefest in 2018, I believe? That sounds right. I'm going to say 2018. I could be wrong, but I know maybe 2017. I know this was the first of their Dicefest figures that they did, but this was a special resin sculpt. It was only available on the weekend if you got your tickets, or for a nice exorbitant sum of money online if you were willing to support Flying Frog. And I am, and I've bought plenty at this point. So one of the things I liked was the very first thing that popped to my attention was the fact that he came with a custom resin base. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be a bullet hole in the head of that skull down there, or if it's possibly a Tridaran model, because Tridarans are supposed to have those three eyes. Could be both. Who knows? He's got a busted up minecart there, spilling coal or gold, or I don't know how I'm going to paint it, but he's got something coming out. Typical Shadows of Brimstone base, I'm assuming. Yep. Whoa. And it even says Flying Frog. Okay. He basically consists of three parts. We have the main torso. Now, I will say that since this figure was released, the quality of their resins has improved. It's not like Mirrors or Kingdom Death level yet, but it's getting there. I believe he's supposed to have a cigarette or a cigar in his mouth. Very flat, empty spot for his other hand to attach to. Lots of flash and cleanup on there, so that's going to be a bit of a fun one. The other parts we have are his other hand with pistol and a pair of legs. So I'm going to grab some clippers. I'm going to wash this again. This is at least the second or third time I've washed him and tried to clean off. He's a bit slimy, and from my experience working with Raging Hero stuff, every time I feel that slime, I just have flashbacks to trying to fit those freaking models together. And let me tell you, I'm a glutton for punishment, because I keep coming back to that Raging Heroes well, and obviously I don't know when to stop drinking from it, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Let's get this guy put together and see how he stacks up with actual Brimstone figures, shall we? We will. And we're back after much complaining and consternation from this young man here. He's not really young, but it's also very hard to see his facial features. What's funny is what started as a 3D sculpt, obviously there were renders of him online, and I just snapped him off from being posed. Wonderful. He seems to have a very difficult time discerning any actual details. I don't know, it's very, I don't know what the word is. Not as smooth as I would expect from a typical 3D sculpt. Despite this, I think it's a cool looking figure, and it instantly made me think of the Saint of Killers from the old Preacher comic by, is it Enos and Dylan? I don't remember. It's been a long time, but you can see he's got that kind of look. Very similar to the Saint of Killers, which obviously a veteran gunslinger would probably look like. Come on, dude. Stand up. The way you're supposed to. Well, that's going to be a bit of a work in progress, getting him to actually stay where he needs to stay. For whatever reason, the glue just doesn't want to cooperate with the model itself, but we gave it a go. I'll tighten it up. So here is a Forbidden Fortress figure and an actual Shadows of Brimstone resin. So you can see he's not overly, dropping stuff, overly gigantic or anything. He is definitely larger than the typical Warhammer figure, but I think he's going to fit in quite nicely with all of my other Brimstone goodies. Now, he didn't have any special rules. He was just a special one-time model. But I did like the fact that he had a custom base, scenic base included, because that's something that Flying Frog has not done very often yet with their figures. One thing that I was kind of annoyed about was, I don't want to pick him up because I'm afraid he's going to fall and break. Maybe I will anyway. You can see on his spurs, his left foot, you can see the full spur, but on the right one, it's just like a little nub. Let me see if I can pick him up without him falling off his base again. Please cooperate. Oh my goodness, you did it. Nope, you didn't do it. Anyway, so you can see there's a bit of a spur, but not all of it. And honestly, it was like that straight out of the bag. There was no like excess resin laying around. Nothing fell off. And the other thing I've noticed about this guy is that I'm not sure exactly what's going on behind his head. Is that hair? Is it part of this scarf he's got on here? I really don't know. Is it both? It might be both. It's a little bit easier to see what we're looking at there. So I don't know what's going on there. I do like his little satchel and stuff. Definitely a cool looking Gunslinger model. Perfectly in scale, obviously, for Shadows of Brimstone. And good luck finding one now, because as far as I know, they are quite the rare obscurity these days. And speaking of obscurities, I think that's enough for this one. This has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying, get yourself glued on your damn base, dude. Bye for now.